Hello and welcome, retail shippers. This is Eddie Hill from Pensacola, the metropolis of Pensacola, but with Prosperous IM, or Prosperous Internet Marketing. One of the guys that had a booth there at the Retail Shipping Expo. So hopefully I got to meet you, every single one of you. Had a big request to do this online marketing training webinar for two reasons. One, so you can actually have a recording of it and pause it and rewind it and actually do the steps that I tell you to do. But two, I talk too fast, and I get that. So I'm going to go through this. It's probably going to take 45 minutes to 50 minutes or so. And like I said, there's going to be parts that you're going to definitely want to pause and do, because it's not all about pie in the sky or a 30,000 foot view. I'm going to tell you specifically what you need to do. So if you weren't in my class, this will be new to you. If you were, it's pretty much going to be a repeat of it, but you'll be able to pause it. All right, so welcome. I believe there's three pillars to success in any forms of life, but definitely in business. As a small business or entrepreneur, just to be successful, you have to have these three pillars. So this is what we're going to go through, and I'm going to teach today all three of these pillars. Number one, you got to have mindset. That's pillar number one, mindset. Number two is skill set, which we're going to go through both of these. So at first I'm going to talk about 30,000 foot view. I have to kind of explain where we're going, where we're heading, why you need to do this. So that's part mindset, right? So get you in the right mindset of why you need to take the time out of your day or out of your week, or pay somebody else to do it, like us, and why it's beneficial to you to grow your business. Part two will be skill sets. So I'm going to tell you specifically what to do. And you can do it. There's nothing in here that that any of you could not do. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's actually not even that difficult. It just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and a little bit of patience and endurance, and you'll get through some of this. You don't have to do all of it. I believe that some is better than none. Mathematically, I believe that's true. So if you just implement a couple of these things, I think you're going to be blessed and see how it's going to help you. So mindset, skill set. Last one is get off your asset. That simply means take action, right? So I can talk to you all day and I can get you motivated. I can, do the rah, 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 hoo, hoo, and I can even give you the skills, specifically step 1, step 2, step 3. But if you don't take action, there's no way this is going to help you. But so I'm gonna make a pact with you right now. Let me talk about the banana experiment back in the 60s. These crazy scientists, they loved to mess with monkeys back then. That was before, all the PETA problems. But the monkeys, what they did is they put 5 monkeys in a room, and this is, you can verify it. Some of it's urban legend, but most of this was true. They put 5 monkeys in a room. They had a ladder in the middle of the room, and they put a stack of bananas on the ladder. And of course, monkeys being good monkeys and hungry, and they like bananas, they went to go get the bananas. And some guy on the side of the room took a big old fire hose and shot the monkey clear off the ladder, and then he sprayed all the other 4 monkeys, and they're like, holy crap, what just happened? So it didn't take long, though. Another monkey said, well, I'm going to go get the bananas. And he, sure enough, went to go up the ladder. He gets shot with the fire hose, and then the other 4 monkeys get shot as well. Monkeys are pretty smart. All of them didn't try it. After a while, nobody would go up that ladder. So the scientists took one of the monkeys out of the room, replaced it with a brand new monkey. And of course, the monkey's looking around going, why is everybody wet? And then he goes, why is nobody getting those bananas? And so, of course, he starts to go get those bananas. The other 4 monkeys beat the holy living crap out of him. Dang near killed him. Like, pulled him off the ladder, would not allow him to go up the ladder, and then just beat him up. So then slowly, the scientists replaced the next one, the next monkey, and then the next monkey, and the next monkey. So eventually, all 5 monkeys were not in the room. None of them were sprayed with water, but none of them would climb the ladder. So you have to ask yourself, why? And the answer is, it's very similar to us business owners or people that are kind of stuck in our ways. The answer is because we've always done it that way. So why are we not getting the bananas? Why are we not getting the fruit? Why are we not getting the gold at the end of the rainbow? Is because we've always done it this way, and we're just not getting anywhere, or we're just plugging along, right? Status quo, which I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe there is such thing as status quo. I believe that you're either taking steps forward or steps back, and I can prove this in all aspects of life. So, for instance, right now, if you are not drinking anything or if you're not eating anything, you are losing weight right now. And you are, right? You're burning calories, and you're literally losing weight. These little, microbial weight, but you're losing it. And then the other side of it, you've heard of atrophy with weightlifters. If you're not, you don't just stay the same muscle mass. If you're not lifting weights anymore, you're going to atrophy. If you are, you grow. So there's no such thing as status quo. There is ebb and flow, and that's what we do in society, and that's what we do in life. But there's no such thing as status quo. So my my exhortation to you is to go get the bananas, because who cares that we didn't used to do that way before, but when these new things come out, we need to go try it. And sometimes we are going to get hit with water or something worse, but it's still, that's the way to go get the pot at the end of the rainbow, or at least get the fruit. And I'm going to tell you, don't be scared of these new tactics and techniques that I'm going to teach you, to try them out. And my assumption is, and this has happened a lot to me, is I'll teach you a couple things, you'll implement one or two things, and guess what will happen? It'll actually work for you, and you'll see a little bit of results, not a lot, but you'll see something happen. You'll go, wow, that kind of worked. And then it'll inspire you to do more, and you'll go, holy, I'm going to keep doing this. And it's called the upward spiral. So hopefully I can get you in action, or get off your asset, and you start implementing some of the things. And then my goal is to get you to continuously implement new things and grow your business. So fair enough. Hopefully you agree with that. All right, so here's my commitment to you. This is what I talked about earlier. So I will give you everything I can in 45 minutes, but I want you to commit. So in the scenario of bacon and eggs, the pig is committed, right? The chicken's involved, but the pig is committed. And I want you to commit to this, and I want you to do one of three things. I want you to implement it yourself. So just say, I'm going to implement this, or a few of these things. Or I'm going to get somebody else on my staff, or my nephew or niece, to implement these things, or I'm going to get somebody to implement it, or I'm going to hire an agency like Prosperous I Am, hint, hint, or somebody else that can help you do this. Because in the end, the only way you're going to propel yourself forward, catapult you forward, and not inch forward, is to do and take massive action fast. And especially because the world's changing fast right now, so we need to keep up with it. So that's my commitment to you. I'll give you everything you need to succeed, and then I want you to do one of those three things. Cool. All right, so what is your job title? I fully believe that as business owners, and I'm a small business owner. My wife and I we own a couple businesses, and I'm the bottle washer, cook. I do clean bathrooms all the time. In fact, I cleaned it today. It's just part of the deal. And I got 22 employees here at my agency, and then my other business that my wife and I own, we have 7 or 8 employees over there now, and so I get it, but I still have to do the day-to-day things, and I know you do too. A lot of you guys are mom and pop shops, literally, or have a couple employees, but I need to exhort you to put on one more hat, or maybe it's a hat that you have and you don't realize how important it is. The hat that is absolutely the most important is your marketing hat. You got to put your marketing hat on at least weekly, if not, every other day or so. You got to be thinking of, how do I grow my business? And that's what marketing is. Marketing is simply getting people to come to you. Where sales is where you go to them, right? So sales means you go to them. Marketing means they come to you. And that's I'm going to exhort you to learn how to be a better marketer, or at least implement marketing tactics daily, weekly, monthly, so you can grow your business. So we'll talk about that for the rest of this webinar. All right, Elon Musk. Anybody know about him? Anybody see the car in space? I mean, isn't that insane? So if you know anything about Elon Musk, he's he's a geek. He's a dork, right? So he's an engineer, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. But he's not a marketer, but he had to become a marketer. He's a billionaire now. He gets it. He's like, you know what? I can't. Nobody gets excited about numbers and things like that, but they do get excited when you put a car in space. So he got it, and he understands that his job is marketing. Well, same thing with you. Your job is marketing. You may not be able to put a car in space, but maybe you can do something exotic and crazy as well. But you need to think of yourself as a marketer, even though you have all these other titles as well. I know that. All right, so today we're going to get into this really heavily. My entire theme, everything I'm going to talk about, is going to be based off this principle: people do business with people. And I'm going to stop right there. People do business with people. It's not the corporate machine. It's not the man. It's not the myth. It's not this committee. It's not the it's not the executive, whatever. It's people do business with people. These are people that put their pants on one leg at a time, most people. And of course, they get up every day. They have children that go to dance classes and play baseball. These are people just like you and I, and that's who you're dealing with. So when you understand that, that's how you have to treat them, as people, as human beings. And business happens with human beings. So, but it gets even more exciting when you see the second part here. People do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. I'll be darned. That's how you do it in marketing. That's exactly what you do in marketing. You get more people to know you. You get more people to like you. You get more people to trust you. And guess what? You grow your business. It's a fact. So it goes like this: know, like, trust, try, buy. You can't skip a step. You can speed it up, and you can actually go through that pretty fast. But you have to do it. You have to get them to know you first. What that literally means, and we're going to go over this, but what that literally means is your circle of influence, right? If they don't know your shop exists, or they've never been down the street that you're on, or they've never Googled your address, then they don't know you. So the like and trust doesn't even exist. Step one, get them to know you. Step two, get them to like and trust you enough that they'll try you. No like, trust, try you. And then once they try you, if they have a good experience, they'll come back and buy you. And usually they buy you deep, and then they become, there's a one final step after that. It's called evangelism, which means they tell all their friends and family about you, how great you are, and they make other people come there. We'll get to that. But today, we're going to get into these three things here. We're going to get into reputation marketing, so that's the trust part of it. We're going to get into search engine marketing, and that's going to be part of the know part of it. It's not all of it. There's other ways to get more people to know you, but you have to do marketing, inbound marketing, to get them to know you. And part of it's people are Googling. For instance, they would Google mailboxes in Pensacola, or they would Google shipping places in Pensacola, or FedEx drop-off Pensacola, or something like that. And so you want to be showing up on Google when that happens, and we'll talk about that. And of course, social media is how I believe how you get people to like you, because you get to show them all the cool things that you do and kind of interact with your customers or potential customers. Okay, we got to move on. All right, so know, like, trust, try, buy. People do business with people. So I want to start with trust. And the reason why I want to start with trust is simply because if you don't want to do other inbound forms of marketing if your reputation sucks, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. So what I mean, so if you have bad reviews online, or you got issues with some of the things that are going on, we need to fix that part first. Get you a trustworthy, gets trust factors on your website, gets trust factors in your store, and get people to like you and trust you. Then we can move on to getting more new customers coming with you, and then also current customers to like you more. So let's start with trust. Okay, so the two ways you do that is reviews and testimonials, online anyway. Offline is kind of the same thing, but it's kind of changing. So I'm going to tell you that this has been going on. I've been preaching this specific thing. I call this a game changer. Probably 8 or 9 years ago, and I keep it as a game changer. To 8 years later, because it's still in some industries like yours, people still haven't caught on that trust factors is a big key in today's society of how people do business or search for businesses. They're looking at reputation. So all you need to do is search your name with your city and Google it, and you'll see kind of what comes up, and you'll see your reputation. This is how people do it. So you can do your own. Just do like whatever your name is, and in your city, you can actually just do your phone number if you want to. But either way, you can search that, Google search it, and you'll find your reputation. So I'm going to get out of this real quick, and let's go down and let's see if I can. I'm going to do Google search exactly that. So let's do pack and ship. This is my buddy Tommy. Hopefully he won't be mad at me giving you an example, and then do Pensacola, Florida. And you usually don't even have to do the whole thing, but right off the bat, you're going to see reputation going on here, right? So you can see stars starting to show up. This is the FedEx office. That's not even him, and other things, but you can kind of see what's happening here. So we can click on that, and guess what you see here? Stars. That's part of your reputation, stars. So if I do, create pack and ship business center, let's do that. Awesome. Come on. Gotta fight with Google a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. Create pack and ship center. So his Facebook ratings show up. This is Tommy's store here. You can see this is his website. This is his Facebook. This is Manta, which is Dun and Bradstreet. In case you didn't know that, they own it. This is one of the press releases we've done. This is another blog spot that we've done for him. Press release here. So here's a press release. We do a lot of press releases. We'll talk about that here in a second. But what I'm trying to say is his reputation's out there. So if you have something bad, which some people do, you got to go figure that out and figure out where you're at. So anyway, Google your name. and your of course your name and your city, and you're going to figure out what's your reputation, and then you can figure out what it is. Then we can fix it. So this is Pac-Mail in Orlando. Yes, it's in Orlando. Now I didn't find them at the show, and if they're watching this, please call me. I can help you. This is not a big deal. I'm not trying to say you're bad. The truth is, this is very common, and I probably found 30 of them like this. You only have 2 reviews, and both of them are 2 stars. Not even like they're 1 star. I don't know who gives 2 stars anymore. But you have 2 reviews. They're both 2 stars, and they're not like ripping on you. They're just whatever. It's something dumb. But so it seems like you have a bad reputation, but the only problem is you only have 2 reviews. So here's what's really cool. What if you go get 5 5-star reviews? What would your average be then? I have no idea. I'm not a mathematician, but it would probably be like a 3.8 or 4.0, somewhere around there, maybe 4.2, because it's going to average in with these 2.0s, right? And then people can look at them. So all I'm telling you to do is to take inventory on where you're at, and then also try to get to that. My magic number is 4.2. So 4.2 or higher, people trust it, they like it, they know you're not going to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, but somewhere around 4.2 or higher is where you want to try to get to go. So this is a survey they do every year from Bright Local. You can Google search this. It's a huge survey, done thousands of people, but it says, do you read online reviews to determine whether a local business is good? And it comes out to, if you do this, it comes out to 91% says yes. 91% will read online reviews. That's a writer downer. That's not a small percentage. And 50% of it do it regularly. 41% do it occasionally, and I promise you, when they're looking at shipping stores, those kind of things, they are looking at your reviews. So this one here is still same survey. It says, how do you typically find reviews? They go directly to the review site, so they go to like Yelp or Google. But most people use Google. They go to search engine and do exactly what I just did. They search, then they look in the search engine. They may find a review site like Yelp or something, and then they'll click on it. Especially if there's a bad review, they click on it a higher percentage. So do you trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation? So this is another writer downer. This is an aha moment. Like, you need to asterisk this, start, and highlight it. 84% trust an online review as much or more as a friend or family member. Let me say that again. 84% trust online reviews as much as a friend or family member. Unbelievable, because they think they're authentic. They think that nobody. I mean, maybe someday they'll understand that some of them can be fake, but they trust them. So if people trust reviews, then your reputation is literally in the hands of strangers you don't even know, right? So I think, and I exhort you to take control over it, and at least go out of your way to try to get some good 5-star reviews. Okay, so game changer number 2 is reviews send you pre-qualified customers. I promise you, people will tell you they came to you because of your reputation, because of your reviews. We get business all the time for my marketing company and my other business when people come in and say, I picked you specifically because of your online reviews. It's powerful. I mean, I over and over and over again, you will get that. Just trust me on that. If you have a pretty good reputation, 4.2 or higher, people will come to you because they're already sold. So as I told you, 84% of buyers trust it as much as a personal recommendation. So how do you create a reputation marketing strategy? What I'm saying is do it on purpose. How? So here's how you do it. You go after low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit is friends, family members. Now, you can't, in terms of service on Google anyway, you can't leave a review for your business. But guess what? Your employees can. Now, I'd be careful. If you're going to fire them someday, they may go back and change it. But your relatives can, and even if they haven't done business with you, you have, in the terms of service, they have the right to review you as a person. I've known Tommy for 5 years. I've served on the board of directors with him for the chamber. Just an incredible, upstanding guy. I highly recommend you use his services. You can say that all day long, and what it's going to do, remember, we're just trying to average those stars out. If somebody reads it, it doesn't tell them a whole lot. It's not good or bad. They're just like, oh, okay, the guy just served on a board with him. No big deal. But of course, second to that would be actual customers. You get friends and family first, so you could probably get 3 or 4. I think if you really tried, you probably get 3 or 4 of your friends and family to leave a review in this next week, which I exhort you to do. But also, when your customer's there, they're happy, ecstatic, on their way out, you can make a poster. A lot of you guys do printing. You make a poster and say, if you had If your experience with us was, I think somebody had this, it was awesome. If your experience with us was ecstatic, please tell a friend. If there's anything less, please tell me, the manager of, Pack and Ship or whatever it is, Pack Mail. So you can do that. You can ask them on the way out. Have a poster. You can like literally just ask them. You can say, hey, can you leave us a review? And hopefully they'll go out of the way and do that. But don't be afraid to ask for reviews, because people get it. It's more and more. We're getting more and more trained to leave reviews, and I bet you have personally been asked to leave a review in the last year from some either a restaurant or somebody else you've been asked to. So you might as well do the same thing in your business. And then software, we cheat. We use a software that we built, and it's powerful. It helps. We can put databases in there. It helps them leave reviews, and then it does it on a massive scale. We still only get about a 10-15% review rate. So if you have 100 customers, you only get 10 reviews. But like I told you, we're not looking for 100 reviews. We're looking for 5 or 8 or 7. You want to get to the 10 mark at least. By I guess end of summer, get 10 reviews by the end of summer. You can do that, but by the end of the year, maybe 20, 25. So we're not trying to do hundreds. We're trying to do half a dozen. So go get the reviews. I promise you, this is going to help you, and you could just do this by exactly what I just said. Now, people always ask me, well, where should I give reviews? Well, I'll take any review. I don't care where they put the darn review. I'll take it. Now, I have this here, and you can take a snapshot or pause the video. This is in order of the most important down. So Google Places, whoops, go back up. Google Places or Google Maps is the 800-pound gorilla. We'll go through that here in a minute. But second will be Facebook. Third's going to be Yelp, City Search, Insider Pages, Yahoo, Judy's Book, and then there's probably 24 other ones that we watch and monitor. But I would definitely stick with these. So if you have a brother or cousin in your town, and they say, hey, I'll leave you a review, and if they're semi-savvy, say, send me, leave me a review on all of these. Tell them to go out and leave a review on all of those. And the BBB's not on here. I need to put that on here. The BBB is strong. The reviews, they just started doing reviews like a year and a half ago, but you don't need a lot on there. You need solid ones, but it's powerful because they'll show up in your searches. So you need to do that. Okay, if you have a bad review, you want to respond. Okay, so first, let me back up. First thing you want to do is call them or get a hold of them and see if you can make amends. I mean, really, it is worth a lot. I would pay $100 to remove a bad review. I'm telling you, it's probably worth even more than that to me, because it's just going to cause a lot of problems, especially if they have a lot of details, and especially if it's true, right? Now, we all screw up. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not perfect either, but you want to make amends and say, dude, we screwed up. How can we make this? I'll give you your money back. I'll do this, and then settle it. And say, if I do all that, will you please remove the review or change your review at least to a 3-star or higher? And most people, decent human beings, I'm not saying everybody's decent, but I give it over a 90% shot that they would do that. If you get a hold of them, that's why you have to do it within the first 48 hours. Otherwise, it's going to be real hard to get a hold of them. And say, I'll take care of it. Here's your money back, or is there something else I can do for you? They will remove it, or they'll change it, and that's the best scenario that you can do. However, that's not always going to be the case. So second to that, we need to ask for more customer reviews to dilute it, right? We want to push it down the page. When there's a bad review, we don't want that to be on the very top. We want that to be 5th one down or 9th one. Now, people will, you know how you do it. People will search for it, on Amazon when you're looking at something, and you go find the bad reviews, right? They're going to find it. So the last part of this, you need to respond to it. So on Google, you're allowed to respond, and Yelp and the other ones as well. You're allowed to respond to the reviews. So you get back on, it says owner response, and you need to explain exactly what you did to solve the situation. Some people are just not reasonable, right? You gave their money back, you told them sorry, and they still leave you a bad review. But if you put that in the response, people get it, like, well, they did everything they could, you just couldn't please the guy. So at least they tried to make it right. And so as long as somebody reads that, your response, and that you did the right thing, then they'll probably forgive you for it and move on. If you don't respond, it's a one-sided conversation, right? So they don't trust you. You just hurt your reputation, and they have no idea. Like, if you did something right or wrong, they don't even have an idea. So you definitely need to respond, and the way you do that, you got to sign into Google My Business and respond. I'll show you exactly how to sign into that here in a second. And of course, you want to create a constant consistent program to acquire reviews. We already talked about that. So people do business with people they know. So this is the second part. I got to move on here because we're running kind of long on time. I'm talking too much. But the know part, after we get to your good reputation, we want to get more people to know you. That means we want to grow your circle of influence, people that know where you're at, where you're located, and use your business. And then we can grow, obviously grow your bottom line. So how do we get more people to know you? So there's lots of ways to do that. You must grow your circle of influence. You can do it by, come on. I did that twice. Let's see. I got to talk about this. Sorry. We must grow our circle of influence because of this. So in Pensacola, this is 2016 numbers. I didn't get 2017 numbers yet. We had 27,856 people move into Pensacola. Now we had 27,309 people leave. They moved away. Think about that. So we basically had almost 98% turnover on that on those people, right? So historically in Pensacola, in 5 years or so, you're going to have 60 to 70% of your entire metro turnover. I mean, they're new people. So just ask around. Now we're kind of a tourist place, so this isn't true for everybody. Some towns don't turn over nearly as much, but we're also military based. We do turn over. I think it's higher than that. Now there's going to be a static 20-25% that have always been here and they're never going to leave. So that's fine. They may know your reputation. Oh, I know those guys have been around for 20 years. They may know all about you, which is fine. But you need to do new inbound marketing to get these new people that just moved into town in the last 6 months or a year or whatever, because they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, they have no reference to you because they're new. And I bet you if you look this up in your city, it's going to be close. 60 to 70% are going to be brand new to your town within every 5 years. So that's astonishing if you think about that. Okay, now your location's critical. Location. I know you guys spend a mint for most of your locations. I think most of you have some pretty good locations. So I'm not going to tell you will get new business just by your location. In fact, I would bank on it. Networking. A lot of you guys get out there and network. You need to shake babies and kiss hands. No, wait, strike that. Reverse that. You need to get out there and talk to people. You need to go to the chamber. You need to be at BNI. You need to do all those. You guys are doing that, and I don't want you to stop. I love it and I believe in it, and I do it myself. So you need to continue to do that. That's one way to get more people to know you, right? So you're growing your circle of influence. Word of mouth. Everybody says, "Well, I grow my business by word of mouth." That's fine, except for you can't control that, and sometimes word of mouth is bad. We already talked about that. Traditional media. I still love traditional media. I like direct mail. I do like radio. I came from radio. TV's getting expensive for what you get because it's changing. Their prices haven't really gone down, but viewership has gone down dramatically, as you probably know. But it still works if you do it right. Urinal signs, those are great, very targeted. No, yeah, I still like traditional media. If you can make it work for you, then go for it. So I'm not telling you not to do that, but I can only teach you about online marketing today because that's all I have time for. So let's talk about it. Here's a little chart. You can write this down. You are right statistically. This is from Great ROI Trackable. Is word of mouth is 62%, but then emailing your own list is database marketing, which I don't have time to get into, is very critical. You're doing that. Networking, we talked about. Social media, look at this. Search engine marketing, we're going to talk about both of those. Content marketing, blogs, things like that. We'll talk about that a little bit. And then direct mail, events, print ads, pay-per-clicks. Oh, urinal signs is not on here. That's too bad. Okay. 97% of prospects will use the internet to find local businesses. This is a fact. Just know that people take out their phone. Most of these are going to be on the phone, right, on their cell phone or their smartphones, and they're going to Google, shipping drop-off or mailboxes or whatever, pack and ship places, and that's how they're going to find you. Unless they drive by you and they already know where you're located. But that's a big part of how people find those local businesses. So ask yourself, how many times have you used the internet to find a local business in the last 12 months? This is pretty big, pretty astonishing if you look at this. Only 5% never, but 95% at least one time in the last month. All right, there's Mr. Google, 800-pound gorilla. Sorry for that. That's kind of obscene there, but he is the 800-pound gorilla. I'm going to go through this real quick. 2 trillion searches annually, 2.3 million searches per second. That's kind of unfathomable how much that is. 74% total market share. Let me talk about that. So they have 89% market share for mobile search. So if Google is the 800-pound gorilla, Yahoo and Bing, or even Yelp is on there. So Yelp would be like, if Google's the 800-pound gorilla, Yelp would be like a 11-pound chimpanzee or freaking spider monkey or whatever they're called. It's just there's so much beyond everybody else. So that's why I always talk Google, and you need to think that way. Now again, we'll take reviews and stuff on all these other things, but I really would focus your effort on the 800-pound gorilla. 1.3 trillion web pages spidered, and then their Alphabet company they're worth $570 billion. Awesome. Okay, I apologize. This is my part to say I'm sorry. There's no such thing as push button online marketing. I'm going to get in the trenches with you here. So this is if you're not technical, you don't care about this part, just go ahead and go to sleep or fast forward this because we're going to talk about SEO. I hate the word SEO, search engine optimization. We don't use it anymore in my business, but it's an acronym that people kind of use. That it's been in the past. It's been abused. You probably like me, you get like 5 phone calls a day or at least a week with somebody saying, "Hey, I can get you at the top of the search engines," or "I work for Google and I'm from Google and your listing isn't optimized," or whatever the heck they say. Just hang up on them. That's all spam, and that's why it has a bad connotation. But guess what? Organic search marketing from Google is very legitimate and it's very real, and they want you to do it because guess why? Google wants legitimate businesses like you to actually rank on the listings if you are what they're searching for. So if somebody searches for mailboxes in Pensacola, you should be served up, right? Because that's exactly what they're searching for. So they're actually not happy if you're not. So if you haven't told them enough times in enough ways that you are about mailboxes in Pensacola, they're actually not happy. They want you to tell them that information. They want to serve you up versus, maybe they don't want to serve up Yellow Pages. Yellow Pages is another directory. It's a competitor. They don't want to serve up national companies. They don't want to serve up irrelevant things. They want to serve you up because that's exactly what you are. But if you're not being served up, then it's our fault. Shame on us. We haven't told Google enough. So this is how search engines work. Write that down. No, I'm just kidding. These are just some of the junk out there. I thought I'm just trying to overwhelm you because it is kind of overwhelming. But here's literally how they work. Anybody remember these? Raise your hand. Oh, yep, I see you. Some of you older folks remember this. This is called a card catalog, and if you think about it, it's exactly how Google works today. So card catalogs is where you have the author and you can find the book, or you can look for the book and find the author, and it's indexed a couple different ways. Well, indexing is exactly how Google indexes your websites. Well, it's actually your web pages, individual pages, not the whole site. So when somebody searches shipping stores Pensacola, it's literally going through this index and it's looking under the letter S for shipping stores, and then it'll find the P file for Pensacola, and then underneath that's where your store is going to be filed for that scenario. But the truth is, it's much easier. That's a big file, right? Shipping stores every shipping store in the world will be underneath that file. It's a gigantic card file. And then under letter P will be Pensacola. That's going to narrow it down a little bit, right? So there's only a few of them in Pensacola. But the best way to get indexed, now you're going to get indexed that way no matter what. But you can also get indexed the other way. You can go underneath the Pensacola file. Now underneath the Pensacola file is going to be everything from plumbers and lawyers, everything that has to do with Pensacola. But underneath the letter S will be shipping stores, packing and shipping stores, right? So underneath the letter S. So you want to get indexed there as well. So I hope that doesn't confuse you, but that's exactly how Google indexing works, and that's how they serve people up based off of the relevant keywords. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's all about location modification, location modifiers. So we're going to use your town, your city name as much as you possibly can without being, crazy redundant. But you want to tell Google that you are about mailboxes in Pensacola, and you can't just say I'm about mailboxes because that's too broad. You got to say I'm about mailboxes Pensacola. So there's only 2 reasons to do anything online. One's for human beings. We like human beings. They're good, most of them. But truly, as far as SEO goes, there's another reason why we do things online. It's for Google bots. Google bots are the little minions that crawl all the web pages. They spider them, and they crawl all the pages, and they actually put them in this index and it tells where the page should go. So we need to help these little Google bots put you in a card catalog or put you in a file where you should be. So when people search for similar things that you do, you show up. All right, I'm just going to leave this on the page. So I'm going to tell you right now that it isn't all about your website. It's only about 35% of the reason why you rank is because of your website. The other, so when these top 3 here have nothing to do with your website. Okay, it's about a trust and authority. It's about links coming to your specific page. It's about anchor text of the external links. But it doesn't. Your page doesn't happen until here, your website, and then traffic and click-through data, social graph metrics. So it's going to be social metrics with like social media, then registration, hosting, things like that. This is a little better graph. I know you guys don't need to know all this, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to break it down here in bite-sized chunks here in a second. But it really comes down to on-page SEO. You see this left side here, and then off-page SEO. Off-page is links and trust things coming back to your site, building authority, building online authority to boost you up. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. So here they are again. On-site optimization is relevance. How relevant, like I said, how relevant is your website? So it's got to have the word Pensacola in there, right? If you're about Pensacola. Some people don't even have that. Now, if you have the RS site, it dynamically puts in your location in there, but it only does it a couple times. It's not obnoxious, but I still think you need to go in there and manually modify some of the descriptions. You need to add the things that, because it's just out of the box website. It's a good site out of the, it's like 85% of the way there, maybe higher, out of the box. But it's your job to go in there and say, hey, we also sell this. We also do mailboxes, because that may not be listed on the homepage. We also do ink and toners. We also do whatever you do, printing and stuff. So you need to make sure that those pages are built in the website, and you need to make sure those words or keywords are on there and they're relevant. Also with title tags and description tags, H1 tags, I mean, I know that gets technical, but you need to go in there and type those in there. And I will pop out of this real quick. So the title tag, if you can see this, it says packing. Very top of the screen, I'm going to hover over it again. This is your title tag. So packing, shipping, mailing, Pensacola, Florida, Warrington Business Center, a FedEx ship center. So he's, Tommy wants to get, ranked for FedEx ship center, which he does, because he's going to put that keyword up there in that title tag. So that's what I'm trying to say. There's a lot more to it. Like this is an H1 tag here. So you want to make sure you have your keyword in the bold, the big titles. You want to make sure you have your keywords in there. Look at this. He's got all of his keywords right here in the H2 tag, and this is the H1 tag. So these things you have to manually go in and change, if that makes sense. And you don't want to be obnoxious about it. I mean, we got it in there a couple times. I mean, it needs to read correctly, but you also want to tell Google a few times that that's what you're about. Get it? Got it? Good. Okay, cool. Back to the training here. So part of that, like I said, is on-site, but more importantly, 65% of the reason why you rank is off-site. That's these things right here. So, oops, sorry, I keep doing this. So one of the things you want to do is you want to blogs to get inbound authority links. Is you can write a blog. It would link back to your website, right? So you in the blog you would say, hey, for more information, come check out PensacolaShipping.com. Or you can write an article, or you can write a press release, which I'm told you they're very powerful. They're not cheap, but they're very powerful way to get authority built. Videos, of course, work very well. Podcasts, photos, social media, which we'll talk about here in a minute, and then citations. I'll tell you exactly what that here is in a second. So this is from Brandon, the president of RS Shipping Associates, or RS Associates. He's awesome, but it was kind of funny because he called Tommy and said, "Hey, dude, I see these press releases all over the place. What do you got going on?" And Tommy's like, "I don't know. I don't do it. Eddie does it. He's my marketing agency." So he wrote this email to me. He says, "Eddie, I strongly encourage you bring multiple examples of what your team has been able to do and show it at this presentation." So we did. He gets these feeds, and this is one of the press releases that we did. They're okay. You can read it. They're not awesome or anything. They're not going to win a Pulitzer Prize or anything like that. But what it does is it triggers. Remember, there's a few human beings. It's fine if some human being reads it. But part two, Google bots will read this, and what we're doing is we're connecting this keyword right here that's linking to his website. Pensacola Shipping Company is linking back to his website, which boosts him for that keyword. Make sense? Pensacola Post Office. We're trying to boost him for those keywords, and then we give him a name, address, and phone number, which is called a NAP, or that's a citation. And a citation is simply a site, another site. It could be a press release or it could be somewhere else. Citing, C-I-T-I-N-G, your name, address, and phone number. So we're getting a couple things going on here, and of course the keywords are in it all the way through. Now we sent this to a press, through our press device. We sent it to the Associated Press, where we buy a massive package because we're a public relations company, and it got picked up by 159 news sites, which is really cool. Now I'm going to show you how you can do this. Now, I already told you it's not cheap, so don't get mad at me. But if you have if you have newsworthy things, you need to do this. So if you win like the Pensacola Chamber of the Year, which my company won last year, by the way, or if you do, if you win some cool award, if you do something cool philanthropically, if you donate something, then please do yourself a favor, write a press release about it, or have them, you knew somebody write it, and then send it out. So you can do like the basic ones like $99. We do, the $289 one is kind of what we do. There's a couple of them out there. This is called Cision or prweb.com, prweb. I have used it many times, and it's powerful. It will definitely boost you in the rankings when you do this. It doesn't last forever because it's news, right? So sometimes news goes away, but there's no doubt it will help boost you. That's why we do it so often. Now this one's called pressrelease.com. I like it. It's misleading. They say it's $49. You can't. That's not going to get you very far. You need to do this one here with all the channels. This is the one we do. So it's going to get into all these different news sites. It's going to be all these TV stations, news stations, radio stations. I mean, it's powerful. And this is the one. This is why Brandon caught it, because it went out to all these news channels. Now, not every one of them pick it up, but we had 156 of them pick it up. So it's pretty powerful. But I definitely would recommend that, and it's an extra $80 for that one. So 80 plus 49, so 129 or whatever. That one's good. And then there's other ones out there. This one's called e-releases. I don't recommend it. This is too expensive, but it's big. They will send it to 150. This one's powerful too, but I don't know if you necessarily. So you're not going to do this every month. We do it every month, just so you know. It's because it's powerful. But part two is we know the power that it gives you for backlinks, and it builds authority for your website, and it goes there. But for you, at least let's say once a quarter, maybe once every 6 months, if you do something cool, please do yourself a favor, write a press release, and I promise you it will help boost you and give you this authority. And here's the secret: none of your competitors are doing this. I promise you right now, no one's doing this. That's why Brandon he was so flabbergasted when he kept seeing this. So, all right, moving on. Oh, by the way, so you can tell what happens. So toner supplies, Pensacola, he sells toner, and we just dominate all over the place for that. So and of course a lot of keywords he's going to dominate for. The only keyword is hard is FedEx, and I'm just going to be brutally honest with you, because FedEx has so many stores and it's such a powerful brand, and they link from their national site, their national website, and it's hard to compete with their national site. It's just been around forever, and so you may not be number 1, 2, or maybe even number 3 for FedEx shipping places or whatever, or FedEx drop off, but you can definitely be on the top of the list for that. But it doesn't matter. There's so many other keywords, like I said, mailboxes, printing, shipping supplies, all those kind of things. There's probably another 50 keywords that you need to rank for. Go from there. Okay, here's how you do it. So number 1, you need to get verified. So go here. This is called Google My Business, or google.com/business, but it's called Google My Business. And then it's going to say Get Started. All you do is click on that. It's real simple. It's going to take you 10-15 minutes. You're going to have to walk through it. But let me tell you right now, everybody thinks they're verified on Google, but my experience is like 30 or 40% of you are not, and more than you imagine. So check it, and here's how you know. It's one, you get verified by a phone call. So it's not a human being calling you saying, hey, you need to verify your thing. Hang up on those people. But what you do when you go here and you click Get Started and you go through it, then it's going to say, we're going to call you right now, and it's an automated bot that'll call you with a 5-digit code, and you put that in there. So then you know you're verified. It'll say you're now verified. Or it's a postcard. So if you don't have an established phone number, or if you try to change the phone number, so then you have to send you a postcard. It takes you 5 to 7 business days, and then you get this postcard. Then you type in the verification code back into here. So that's the only way to get verified. And you need to make sure you are verified. Okay. And then you need to make sure you have the correct category. And let's talk about that real quick. So under the maps, when you're going through this Google My Business, it's going to tell you to pick a category. I recommend shipping and mailing service. That's a good category. As you can see here, he's above the FedEx Ship Center on this specific keyword, but it's shipping and mailing service. Shipping and mailing service. So you can have different categories, but you need to make sure you pick the correct one. Some people don't. They pick like something generic, like retail business or something like that. Just make sure it's shipping. Okay, so here's how you get to the top of the map. So you want to get there, right? Where that arrow is, you want to get right here. But here's how to get to the top. You need to fill out everything. It's going to ask you if you have a parking lot. It's going to ask you if you take credit cards. It's going to ask you if your wheelchair accessible. Yes, 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 whatever it is. Answer all the darn questions. Fill it out more. It is a mathematical equation, meaning the person with the highest math wins. I hate to tell you that. That's what an algorithm is. And so fill it out. And if your competitors have 5 photographs they uploaded, you need to upload 6. If a competitor has 1 video, you need to upload 2 videos. I hope you're catching my drift. So if you need to put your hours of operation and your payments, your photos, inside, outside, products, team, I would add something to all of those. And of course, you're competing against the neighbor against you, neighbor next to you. So you want to make sure that you're ahead of that, ahead of them, whatever they're doing. And then of course, Google says photos. Down here where the arrow is, this might help to increase your ranking in search. If anytime Google says this might help, I would do it. And they're telling us flat out that photos will enhance your listing and help you with ranking. So I would add photos. I would add a dozen of them right off the bat, and then I would keep adding them every month or so. Back to citations. Citations in the maps is another reason why you get ranked in the maps. The reason why is a citation, remember, it lists your name, address, and phone number. So you're telling Google over and over and over again that your name, address, and phone number is this. And so they see your name, address, and phone number on Google. They see it on Super Pages, Yahoo, Info Pages, Yellow Pages, City Search, da-da-da-da-da. And so here's a good list. Start with these. If you go to Moz.com, there's it calls Moz Local. Click on Moz Local, and then it'll say check for your. And I think you put your name in and your zip code, and we'll check for your listings, and it'll tell you which ones you have and which ones you don't. Now I'm going to be brutally honest. They're going to try to sell you. You don't need to buy it. Like just no, thank you. Just give it the list. Or take that list and give it to your nephew or niece and tell them to start signing up for them. So signing up, all you do is you start filling it out. You put your name, address, and phone number. You put your email. You put photographs if you want to, and then it says verify. You have to verify the email. It's boring, stupid. It takes you 5 to 7 minutes each one of them. It's worth it, I promise you, because it's math. If your competitors only have these top 4, but you have the top 12, in theory you win. There's a lot more to it than that. It's going to be based off of reviews. It's going to be based off of citations. It's going to be based off of how much you fill out the form, all those kind of things. But all those added up will help you win and get to the top of the Google Maps. We're talking specifically about Google Maps right now. So if you have an RSW website, and like I said, it's very good, but if you're not promoting it and getting to the top of Google, it's simply a billboard in the desert. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. It's a great billboard, and it would be awesome, but nobody's seeing it. So what you want to do is get it out there on Google where there's traffic, and you want people to see it. So, okay, so how do you get people to like you? This is the last part of it, and I'll wrap this up here. So we already did how to get people to know you, or to how people to trust you. Now we're going to get how to get people to like you. And social media is an excellent way to get people to like you. And I wrote down here, like us on Facebook and in real life too. You know what? You have to be cool. Don't be a jerk. Be cool. And get people to like you. And guess what? Online you can do the same thing. So some of you guys may know a lot of these, but some of you may not know any of these. I don't recommend you doing everything. You guys are busy. You need to do some. Probably just do these ones here. Just kidding. Yeah, there's a ton out there. So this is social media marketing and monitoring. This helps you. You don't need to know all this crap. Just strike that. I like to mess with your head. Sorry about that. Here's what you need to know. Facebook is the big dog. We knew that. It's like the 800-pound gorilla of social media. WhatsApp is a texting app. Don't worry about that one. Scratch that off the list. But YouTube is very powerful, and I definitely recommend you get on there. You don't have to do it monthly or even weekly or anything like that. Maybe once a quarter, upload a video. That's even, if you do something cool, upload a video to YouTube, and that helps a lot. Make sure you point it, you're going to link it back to your website. Snapchat, I would not worry about. It's for teenagers and young 20s. It is growing strong and it's powerful, but as of right now, for your industry, I'd say stay away from it. I do believe in Instagram. I do believe in Twitter still. I would have said it was going to die, but the president revived it. And then the rest of them I would not do if I was you. Unless Pinterest interests you, if you're doing gifts and stuff, I would do Pinterest then. But otherwise, if you're just doing the shipping stuff, I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, cool. Okay, so understanding edge rate is the art of engagement. So you can read this later. You can pause it and read this. But here's what it is. It's an algorithm, just like the algorithm, not just like, but it's an algorithm like Google. It's a different algorithm, and this is exactly how you break it down. It's affinity times weight times decay equals your edge rank. And your edge rank is what your post ranks, how well your post will rank. So I'm going to break some bad news to you. So when I first started getting on Facebook, whatever 8-10 years ago, every one of your friends, every one of your posts got posted to every one of your friends' wall. Believe it or not, it was 100% back then. And then they realized, wait a minute, that's too much clutter. So they started backing it off with this algorithm pretty quickly. I was like right in the beginning. And so then only like a certain percentage of your friends list sees your post. Now it's less than 8%, probably 6% sees your post. If you have 100 friends, only like 7 or 8 of them will actually see your post. It's ridiculous, small how it is. So I'm going to teach you exactly how to get more people for free to see your post, and it's going to be based off of this algorithm. So part 1, to grow authority on your post or your edge rank, to grow your edge rank, you want to get more likes. Now, likes are basically a throwaway. Google doesn't give you a lot of credit for likes, but it does help a little bit. So get some likes, especially if you get 50 likes. But smiley faces, the emojis, they count a little bit more than a like. Hearts count a lot more. So you want to get people to interact with that. But more so, you want comments. Comments will boost the authority of that post pretty dramatically. So if you post something for your business, I would get your employees to comment on it from their own personal ones or from your own, and then I'd also get them to share it, and then that's how it goes viral. You guys know that Facebook is the most viral thing on earth, except for maybe like herpes or something. But I mean, it's extremely viral. And you got if you use it right, it'll help you with that. So you want to engage, you want to interact, you want to associate on the social media, and I'll tell you how to do that. And then you want to do something cool. And I'm going to tell you specifically some of the things you can do here. So create valuable content and share it with your audience on a frequent basis. That's a writer-downer. So there's a lot going on there. Valuable content, not crap content, valuable. Share it with your audience. Of course, you got to do that. And then frequent basis. So you need to schedule it out. I do not expect you to get on Facebook or whatever, Instagram every single day. In fact, don't do that. I do, however, expect you to schedule it out. So you can start Monday morning, you schedule time at 9 a.m., and you're going to schedule your posts for the whole week. So you're going to schedule 1 to 2, 3 to 4 posts that week. I don't care. My recommendation is somewhere between 10 and 15 posts a month for your industry, not for every industry, but for yours. And I would make sure that you're scheduling it out. So you can even schedule out the whole entire month. Guess what happens every month? Holidays do, right? So we're in the month of May. What happens in the month of May, right? So we got some, Memorial Day, we got Mother's Day, we got all kinds of things going on. Those can be scheduled way in advance. You know that 4th of July is probably going to happen right around the 4th of July, and Christmas happens usually around the 25th. Those kind of things you can schedule in advance. So you can create, when you have some downtime, create those posts. You can schedule them out on Facebook and then post them. Then you don't have to worry about them. Then you can come back in and fill it in with some local things, some day-to-day things, like I was telling you. So what I was going to tell you is what's best is to ask questions. So you can ask like a should question. Should you use bubble wrap when shipping antiques? That's a good question. Or should you, would you, those kind of things. They get some more interaction. So questions always work. Of course, you want to share relevant things that are happening. FedEx, all kinds of new things happening with them, and of course, UPS and USPS, some things happen, new stamps or whatever. So make sure you're sharing quality content from national blogs. This is coming from Biz Journal. You can from the Wall Street Journal, whatever. They may have something. Just go to wallstreetjournal.com or whatever, foxnews.com, and then search FedEx or search UPS, and I'm sure they'll have some sort of article on there. Then you can take that and share that on your site. Get it? Got it? Good. Okay, so you also want some humor. I totally believe that once or twice a month you need to throw out there something funny. Like here's what we did last Father's Day. that has nothing to do with packing and shipping, but it got a ton of reaction, right? It got a lot of likes, a ton of shares. So if you can do something funny, that helps. If you can do something emotional, this is breast cancer awareness that we did. We did this a while back, but I mean this is powerful. We had 1,000 likes, 81 comments, 311 shares, and here's the key right here. So at the bottom we put share this update. You can do that, right? Just ask them to share it, and guess what? People actually share it if you ask them. You can do that. It's always good to put cat videos. I don't know why cat videos go crazy. You is kind, you is smart, you is impotent. Okay. That's funny. That's humor right there. This guy Joe Guerrero. If you're watching this, I know you're in Charlotte. There, I stole this off of your Facebook page. Good job, man. Thumbs up. This is awesome. I just shipped my pants, and I think it came from something else, but it's funny. So if you can, I don't know if that's trademark. I doubt it is. You guys can use that, and if you can come up with something clever like that, great. This one here is this one here got a lot of attention. We did this a while back, but it says looking at because we know that people hate lines, and you can do this right before Christmas. And this says lines looking big at the post office. Come to Pack and Ship. You get that. That's what you guys do every day. But you need to remind people that hey, it's a lot shorter lines where you're at. And then this is one that Tommy actually did. We didn't do this, but he put he actually gave them a $5 off per roll for forever stamps. And I don't know if he lost money or if he got a good deal or something, but this got a lot of traction. So every now and then it's okay to do price an item. I think it's perfectly fine to throw a sale or a price an item. Something like this is powerful, something that they would care about. But you can't be doing this every day because it's just going to burn people out. So I think once or twice a month a price an item like this would work. And then the other posts are going to be exactly what I said. They're going to be holidays. They're going to be emotional things. They're going to be quotes. They're going to be some humor in there. And then you also want to do some education, like we talked about, new things coming up, new things coming out, those kind of things. So there's your 10 to 15 posts per month. You can do that. I promise. If you do it, it will help grow your business. You're going to get interaction. You can get more people to know you, get more people to like you, and that'll help grow your business. Now, I put this on here to remind me that there's business ads on Facebook. If you hit boost post, I do recommend it. It's cheap. You can do like $5-10 and boost your post. But I would save it for the good stuff. If you find something that gets a little bit of traction and people are interested in it, like those forever stamps or something, then boost it. Put $10 down on it and boost it, and it'll go out to your area. Just make sure you pick your zip code or you pick your area. Don't do the whole United States because you're going to reach way too many people. You need to narrow it down to your area, and then I also pick the ages that you want, those kind of things. Cool. Okay, today's competitive environment, automation is not a luxury; it's a requirement for keeping competitive. And I 100% agree with Entrepreneur Magazine that you need to automate some of this. So Hootsuite is great. It's both these, or I think all these. Social Cola is mine. You can't have that, but Hootsuite and Buffer both have a free account, which would work just fine for you. It only allows you I don't even know, up to 10 accounts or something like that, but you're not going to use all of them anyway. So go get a Hootsuite, and then all you need to do is make one post, and then it will automatically post that same post to Facebook, to Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever you want to pick, and it's much easier to get it out there. So that way you're not spending a lot of time logging into these accounts and doing it. So go ahead and use that. That's something you can do right now. Sign up for that. Okay, so everything I said today is very relevant about mobile. I already talked about how important it is. 64% of phones use high-speed data services, but of Google searches, it's over 55% of all searches are done on smartphones now. So just know that it's here to stay, and you need to prepare. Like everything you're doing, you need to realize it's probably being looked at on a phone. So you don't want to have really small, print. You don't want to have lots of text. It's going to be on somebody's phone. So here's what's cool. 6.8 billion cell phones in use, 4.6 billion smartphones, 4.2 billion people own a toothbrush. You see something weird with that? That's a fact. Go Google that. Google doesn't lie. Well, sometimes. Anyway, the point is that's how powerful cell phones are. What about this? 75% of Americans admit to using a phone in the bathroom. Is that you? Yes. When I do that in the class, like 2 people raise their hand. BS. You guys are all liars. Anyway, the point is people are on their darn phones all the time. That's where they're looking for you. That's where they're researching you. And, of course, they're usually playing around on Facebook or something. A man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time. You can't. You have to put on your marketing hat. Please do me a favor and promise yourself you're going to do marketing. You're going to schedule it once a week, once a month. I don't care when you do it, but you need to schedule it and prepare to grow your business by doing these things I just talked to you about. You can't do this, right? Because there's no status quo. Because you go backwards. You stick your head in the sand. Guess what? Your business is going to decline, and then you're going to be in trouble. So you need to take positive action. You need to have a great mindset, and then you need to get off your asset. And I promise you this will help you. So, right? Mindset, skill set, get off your asset. And that's how you succeed. I promise you. So, all right. One last thing here. I need to, this is personal, so I'm going to take a minute to do. I know I'm wrapping it up right about an hour here, so it's perfect. This was me. And there's the pot of gold. And I'm not saying I've completely got every bit of gold I want, but I'm telling you what, I've actually got the pot of gold a lot better than I was 5-10 years ago. And what I would do is I would start this path. I would start building a bridge to the pot of gold. And you know what? That bridge was good. And that bridge could be like a new product you put in your store. Now, not only are you doing packing and shipping, now we're doing mailboxes. So you spend all this money to do mailboxes, and it helped you start getting this path to the pot of gold. But then a new shiny object came along, and you said, wait a minute, I'm going to start building this bridge, because you went to the RS Expo, and there was a lot of great booths there. And I'm not saying that you don't need all those, but now this guy's telling you, hey, you need to also print, photographs in your store, and you can charge people to print photographs, or you could sell cards in your store, which is I think is a good idea. You need to do that as well. But so those are half-built bridges if you're not completing them. Some of them are full-built bridges, and they're making you some money. But we get distracted. So you may do some marketing, and like, hey, I'm going to send a direct mail piece, or hey, I'm going to buy the RS website, but I didn't do anything with it. I didn't update it or anything like that. So it's a half-built bridge, right? What I'm telling you right now, I want you to commit to finishing a bridge, one bridge first, then get the other one and move on, and then maybe get another one, because that's how you get to the pot of gold. And if you're like me, and I'm only telling you this, and I'm just being brutally honest, I love shiny things. I see some potential. This can help grow my business, and I start doing this, and then sure enough, I wake up 3 months later, and I haven't really got where I wanted to get, and I just spent a lot of money or a lot of time and didn't get to the pot of gold. So please, take some action. Some is better than none, and do what I've taught you today, and I promise you it'll help grow your business. So then you can go across the bridge and be happy, yay, like that guy. Get it? Got it? Good. So I wrote 101. I gave it to some of you guys, and I'll maybe send it out with an email. There's 101 ways to grow your business. That's kind of the bridges, right? So I don't want you to get distracted, but I'll send it to you, and I think you need to pick a couple bridges, or one bridge or two bridges first, and figure out how you're going to build the complete bridge and go with it. And it could be online marketing. That could be your bridge. That could help grow your business. Or it could be direct mail. Or it could be going door to door. Or it could be, whatever, networking more. Or it could be moving your shop to a better location. There's lots of ways to grow your business, but I just strongly exhort you to take some sort of action to better yourself and better your business, and that way you can get to the pot of gold. So I said this before. So some is always better than none. Always. That's mathematically true. And so just take a little bit of action, and my assumption is once you start taking action, you're going to see some results, or at least get some hints of results, and it'll stir you up to take more action, and that's the upward spiral. So in the city of blind people, the one-eyed man is king, and that is true in your industry. I mean this in the nicest possible way. A lot of people in the packing and shipping, or the shipping retail industry, is asleep, and they're just not doing a lot of this stuff. And if you are, you don't have to be the greatest in the world. You just have to be the best in your market. So here's one last story. You and your friend are walking in the woods. Actually, it's me and my buddy. We're walking in the woods. We look up, and there's a bear. And I'm like, oh crap. He's like, oh, that bear's close. And I bend down and I start tying my shoe. And you're like, what? My buddy's like, what are you doing, Eddie? You can't outrun a bear. And I looked at him and I said, you know what? I don't need to outrun the bear. I only need to outrun you. And that is how it works with online marketing. We're not trying to beat everybody, not trying to be the best. You just need to do more than what your competitors down the street are, and you will win that pot of gold. You will get the top of Google. You'll give them everything they want because they want to see this stuff. You'll get more people to know, like, and trust you. They'll try you, and then they'll buy you deep, and then guess what? They become evangelists. So if you have questions, I'll stick around, and you can ask questions in the chat box, or I'll give you my email. It's just eddie@prosperousim.com. Or you can call our help desk line. We have a help desk Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 Central Time, and it's 850-475-4460. And I would love to talk with you. And a lot of you I've already talked to. We've already signed on a bunch of you as clients, or several of you, and I wouldn't call it a bunch. I want a bunch. That's why we're doing this. But we've got quite a few that we're ready, willing to help, jump right in, and we'll do this. So if you don't want to do it, I'm going to flat out ask you for your business. Let us do it for you. And I promise you won't be disappointed, or I will give you your money back, just like I talked about. So we know what we're doing. We've been doing this for a long time, and we love the packing and shipping industry, and we get it. and we understand kind of what you're up against. It's not perfect. It's a muddy mountain. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Things change. We get that too. As long as you understand that on our side of it, it works that way. We'll work this together, and that's why we call it a partnership. So we want to be your partners in prosperity. So please give us a call or email us, and we'll go from there. Now I'm gonna attach our packages. When I send the replay out, I'm going to attach the packages for you only. Now, they're only good until the 31st. I can't. I mean, they're crazy. I blame Brandon, but he beat me up. He said you have to bring a good deal to the show, and I did. So we brought this crazy deal to the show, and I definitely want to get a few more of you on that package for scalability. But also, Brandon said I need to be a better deal, even better deal, for those of you that are premium members to the RS Associates. And if you are, then we will waive the setup fee, which is crazy because we have a ton of setup. It takes us days, if not weeks, to set these things up. We have to build all those accounts that I showed you. So with that, any questions? All right. Yes, this is the replay. We're going to be sending out the replay. I promise you. I'm going to send it to everybody, and hopefully you can slow it down and pause it, and rewind it. Yes, we can do it for you. Great question. That's my favorite question. Some of this you can do. You may not need it. Like you may be good at social media, but you may not be good at the SEO part or the reputation. So that's fine. We don't need to do it all, but we'll be glad to do whatever part of it you want us to do. As a partner. Yes, we design all your posts. We'll do 12 to 15 posts a month for you on social media. So we do exactly what I taught you. So we'll do a couple we'll do the holidays, 2 or 3 holidays a month. We'll do a couple joke things. We'll do some national news about USPS, FedEx, or whatever mailboxes. Then we'll do some local things for you. Usually we get with you the month before and we say, all right, what do you got coming up? Is there anything you're doing? If you do something cool, if you get a good review, by the way, we post reviews all the time and videos. We'll make videos for you and post them on there. And we'll definitely do that. We'll custom it to you, but we'll do the 10, 15 posts for you, 12, 15 posts for you each month for the reputation package. That reputation, not reputation, the social media package is only $97, crazy $97 a month. That's the entry level package, and we do it all for you. Yes, you'll see that. Yep, there's definitely a show special. If you buy more than one package, you basically get the social media package for free. So it saves you $97 a month and all kinds of other stuff. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. You're more welcome to call us or email me. And then otherwise, you have a prosperous and awarding 2018 unless you already have other plans. I appreciate you. Thank you.